Good evening and welcome to Sportstalk. My name is Edward Chick and I'm filling in for Larry Mans, who's not able to make it tonight. With me tonight are my two guests, Port Huron Northern golf coach Bill Murray and Port Huron High School golf coach Kevin Sen. Gentlemen, welcome to Sportstalk.
Nice to be here.
Okay, let's start off. I guess the obvious question is, how's the season going for you? Bill?
Well, we're right in the middle of getting really to the end of the crux of the matter. We've been up and down a little bit this season. We've been doing well. We're 5-2 in the league, and we're coming down to the same situation we had last season with Kevin's team at Port Huron High, mine at Northern, and Eisenhower's team.
You're 5-2, so are you? What's that put you at placement-wise?
At this point, we're in third place.
Third place.
And we're one match behind Kevin's Port Huron High Big Reds and Eisenhower's team.
Okay, Kevin, how's things going over for the Big Reds?
Well, before I forget, Bill forgot the fact that he just won the Roger Gill tournament. The Roger Gill tournament was last Monday, where we had 20 teams were at the Roger Gill.
Mm-hmm. And Northern came out on top.
Northern came out on top.
We won that one, yeah.
Yeah. So he's got a pretty good team. It's not like he's got a bad team. So he came out on top. Eisenhower was second, and Port Huron High School was third. We're tied for first right now. We're 6-1. We're 9-3 overall. We play Eisenhower on Tuesday, which is the big match of the year. We've got to beat them, and if we can beat them, then there's a chance for a three-way tie or individual honors for our school.
Okay, we were out at your last match when both of Port Huron High and Port Huron Northern played each other. Can you maybe go into detail on that, like give us some results, star players, I guess, that type of thing?
Well, go ahead, Bill.
Okay, when Kevin and I get together with our teams, it's usually a match where we're not sure exactly what the outcome will be. We've had matches where we've always been real close, but we've never been able to really score well. And I think this year, both teams scored exceptionally well. We had probably one of the lowest rounds each team had against each other since I've been doing this, and it's been about 5 years now. And my kids did real well, and I think Kevin was pleased with how his young men finished. But yeah, we were most consistent. I thought my team was real consistent with usually the emotions that run high in a match like that. Mm-hmm. So I was pleased. Although we ended up one stroke short.
One stroke short.
But I was still pleased with how well we did play.
Port Huron High won the game then.
Right, Port Huron High won by one.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 160 to 161, which are two excellent scores. Usually try to get around 158 to 160.
Is that an average 158?
No, that's not an average. An average is 163 to 165.
That's an average winning for a golf team. Okay.
Yeah. We had a couple guys that shot in the 30s. I had Morris Hall shoot 38. You had Hinton shoot 38.
Yep, I think he was 38.
Yeah, we had two 38s. We had a couple guys shoot 40. I had a 37 by Jeff McCoy, which was really the difference of the match.
What course was this match played on?
It was played at Black River, and we go Wednesday to Port Huron Golf Club and play these guys on Wednesday. So it was at a good golf course, and we're going to play another good golf course on Wednesday, and probably be the type of thing where it'll probably come down to a couple strokes again, and who knows.
While we're on the subject of golf courses, what's for your teams or in a coach's viewpoint, what's the toughest golf course out there that your teams have to play on?
Well, I was going to say, when Kevin was talking about our teams playing, I think when we look at a true match and where we're playing, I always think that when we play at Black River, we play at Port Huron Golf Club, that's probably going to be the real test of golf for us. The course isn't going to take away from our score. Both his players and my players are used to playing on good golf courses, and there's a real challenge there, and they don't feel like when they lose a match it's because of the condition of the course. Both courses are in excellent shape, and so I would say...
Is there any one certain course that's like a little bit tougher than others?
Black River, I don't know. I think Black River is a little bit tougher.
I think it's a little bit tougher than anything in the league that you're playing right now.
If you look at the holes, the way they come at you a little bit, Port Huron starts out fairly, well, the first hole is fairly easy, the second hole isn't. But at Kevin's course, he's got the third hole, and I think my kids talk about the third hole at Black River. It's kind of tough.
Yeah, it's considered probably one of the tougher holes in the state.
Just the third hole at Black River?
At Black River, I think it's considered probably in the top.
For someone that maybe has not been, or what can you maybe give us a little detail on this third hole?
It's 440.
It's so hard.
Okay, it's 440, which is pretty long distance for a par 4.
Yes, it is long.
It's uphill to a two-tiered green.
Wow.
So basically, you got to hit 2 great shots, and then you got to putt real well, and you'll get a par. Secondly, it used to be a par 5. They had a tree right in the middle of the fairway, and it blew down. And eventually, it turned into a par 4.
So brought it down to the par 4.
Yeah, so it's maybe an easy par 5, but it's a real tough par 4. Same with number 2 at Port Huron. It's you got to hit 2 great shots, and then you got to have a couple pretty good putts. So they're 2 of the critical holes early in the round to determine how you're going to do the rest of the way.
This is open for both of you. You know, like a lot of your sports, like football, basketball, and hockey in this town, it's more or less the popular sports, you might want to say. Golf, you know, people, you know, I guess you don't get the big fan attraction. What do you think would makes golf a better sport than these? You know, I kind of reckon I'm into this sport. I think more where people, as an individual, you have to achieve. Where like football and your team sports, it's more like, you know, you can always pass the puck to him or throw the ball to that guy, and you're always going to get something. Where in golf, would you maybe agree that it's up to the individual player himself to maybe bring the team out on top? Every little contribution, is that? Am I right in assuming that?
Well, Bill's coached hockey, so he can give you maybe a better complex or a better idea about that. But I really feel the fan support is a big part of it. We don't have any fan support really in golf. You're out there on your own, just like on the wrestling mat. It's one-on-one, and you got to do it, and nobody else can do it for you. You get to shoot 40, and you can't subtract strokes or add strokes. That's what you got, and that's the way the bottom line is. Hockey, football, all those got fans. They're cheering you. The adrenaline is kicking in. All those kind of things. So,
do you think that's it could be detrimental maybe to a team that they don't have a big fan support, or maybe you guys haven't noticed? You know, the players are still enthusiastic, even though it's not like you got somebody out there rooting for you all the time.
I think with golf, you look at it, we make it a team sport. Although when you get right down to it, we're adding up individual efforts. And you know, when Kevin talks about me coaching hockey, you know, there are many times that I might be able to hide a weak winger here or there on a line if I knew the line was pretty strong. Mm-hmm. But in golf, you can't hide anybody. Their scores are there. They're public record, and they come out. And if they score, their score is there. If they don't do well, then they still have the score. They have to live with it, but they may not add in, because with golf we play 6 players and add up the best 4 scores to make the team score.
Okay, so
I think one of the things that we really should look at is the fact that Bill on his team and on my team is we have almost all hockey players. I've got Morris Hall and Sean Truskowski. I've got Mike Bassett, Jeff McCoy. These are all pretty good hockey players, and they're going to continue on now and play in the winter on real respectable teams.
Do you think it might have something to do with maybe because it's more like a hand-eye?
Oh, absolutely.
Because you swing like I feel like a hockey stick is.
The only trouble is they also have the hockey mentality that goes with it.
You can't have that in golf.
Yeah, you can't have that in golf. Yeah, they can't.
Wrap the club around someone's head or something.
Yeah, or blow it through, or overpower. Basically, it's a finesse type game. But he's got Hinton's a good hockey player. He's got both of them. Keith and Kevin both are good hockey players.
Kevin Crittenden played. Danny Banks used to play hockey. I don't think Danny's playing now, but yeah, I have quite a few guys that have played hockey in their younger
It's kind of interesting the parallel there.
Sure.
Back to that, what does, in a coach's mind, what constitutes a good golf player? What are you looking for as far as characteristics? Well, this year I started out with 31 golfers, wanted to come off the team, and I had them play at the Elks 3 rounds of 18 to make some kind of decisions about who I would keep. And from day one, I always tell them that if you can't shoot 42 or below consistently, it's going to be very hard for me to use in the varsity. You may play JV, but really when we play golf, the varsity is where the records are set, and I look for consistency in scoring. If you're up and down, makes my job more difficult to decide where to play you, and some days I feel like I get set with the first 4, and then I end up that maybe the last 2 in varsity, I might as well have a dartboard out there and throw darts to decide who is I'm going to go next, because lots of times I make decisions and they just don't end up being the right decisions, no matter how I look at them.
So
some days
it can be 50-50.
It can be, and some days are so up and down that it's very difficult. And I think to have everything work well, it'd be nice to have everybody be consistent, which I know doesn't happen. But I look for consistency of play.
How about Ken? What are you looking for in a good golfer?
Well, usually I think Bill has the same situation. Is we have really good scholastic athletes. I mean, their grade points are very good. Overall, you might have 75% of your team is 3.0ers. So we don't have to worry,
That's
at least we don't have to worry about scholastically how they're doing. So now we're working with their mental part of their game, their golf game, and that's probably 80 to 85% of the game is getting them in the right frame of mind. We can't get the adrenaline kicking in. We can't get those type of things happening. They know when Port Huron High plays Port Huron Northern that this is an important game, and I don't need to stress it any more than that probably, because they have they got to control their emotions just as much as everybody else does.
Okay, in golf, as in like other sports, do the kids provide their own equipment, or is the school funding? Do you contribute? Like if a kid can't afford a set of clubs, is there like a special program? Maybe you loan him money for it, or he returns the clubs at the end of the season, or how does that work out?
I think if we would have that situation, we would probably try to come up with something that would work out. I've never had the situation where a kid needs a set of clubs.
So basically the kids bring in their own equipment.
Right. By the time we get them in the fall, these kids have played golf hopefully all summer. It's not a time where we're going to start and revamp something on them. We're going to work on the fine tuning of stroke saving aspects. We're not going to go out and change their swing that much or anything like that. So
I was going to say that's one of the things that sometimes is a misconception by a lot of people, is that the golf team is not really that much of a training ground. Last week I was making up some matches because of the weather, and we didn't have one practice day. And the number of practices you have is probably a handful once the season gets started.
So basically, they're not practicing. You're out there for real. I mean, when the tournament's there, it's
we're going full gun.
You're.
So what happens is the actual practicing or the understanding is done after the round is taken over. You take a look at the kids around and you say, okay, what happened here, and you try to reinforce some things or some positive things. You stress the fact that you did a nice job here, and let's work on these kind of things. So he's got to work individually along with whatever advice we can give him. But basically, it's really a mental game. It really is. You got to get them ready, playing good when you need them to play good, and being on a status quo when you need them to be on a status quo type thing.
Do you think golf has become more of a media, or not maybe a media event, but now because it's I think it's covered more. I think we were talking earlier before we, in the program here. Do you think it's helping out the sport as far as, it's getting it more to the masses?
Sure. You
take more tournaments televised, the technology, of course, for the television.
There's a tournament on television every day, every weekend day. I mean, Saturday and Sunday, you're going to see a tournament on. You're going to see the women, you're going to see the men, you're going to see the seniors, just about every aspect. I mean, this is a game you can play for the rest of your life. And so
that's true. That's it is a good point that you bring that up, because like football or basketball or hockey, when the potential to get injured is very high versus golf. So I think that's the remarkable aspect of the sport.
One of the things that Kevin and I both see now, and I've been doing this I guess 6 years, but I noticed when I started, the numbers of people on the golf course have increased tremendously. It's made it more difficult for us to do our job because of the numbers that are out there all the time. Used to be by the end of September, you'd be out there and you wouldn't see very many people around in the afternoons. But today, the way popularity of golf has come about, it's very difficult to get on the golf course without having a lot of people out there. And like I said, when you come out there with 24 guys to play golf and you've got members out there, they're always glad to see you. But it's one of those things where you spend a lot of time.
Okay, briefly before we're running a little bit out of time here, what's the season look like for SU? You got some tough teams coming up, Bill?
Yeah, we do. We play PH this week, and that's going to be a real key match for us this week. And also the regionals will be something, and the league will be something we'll be looking at. The following week on Monday, we go to the regionals, or go to the league match, and then the regionals on the Friday, the 9th of October. And I know my kids have some goals they've set for themselves early in the season, which they'd like to obtain, and I'd like to see them do that. So we're really keyed in the last 2 weeks here.
Well, good luck to Port Huron Northern. Kevin?
Well, we have the same thing, except we have 2 tough matches this week. We got Eisenhower tomorrow, which just gives us a share of the title if we can beat them. And then we have Northern on Wednesday, which would mean we could win it outright, or at least we could get a share of it. And then we have Monday the league match, and then Friday's the regionals. I got 2 seniors. I got Morris Hall and Sean Truskowski, who've done a nice job this year. They've led me along the way. And I got some juniors that have done a nice job. Colin Thomas, Jeff McCoy, and Mike Bassett, who are going to be my leaders a year from now. So basically, we've got a good team. Northern's got a good team, and Eisenhower's got a good team. It's it's a one-stroke difference type situation.
Well, good luck to both of you. Thank you for
Thank you.
coming to our show.
Thanks for having us.
This has been Edward Chick for Sports Talk. Have a good evening.